I thought I'd make this video just to give a little bit of information about the Camp America interview. I had mine back in September, start of September, so that was a good 2-3 months ago, and I've been placed now, so that's all the waiting done, and now I'm just going to wait for camp. So yes, I'll give you a little bit of information about the interview itself, what to take, what they sort of just ask about, and just a bit of information about what you do. So yeah, first of all, there's nothing to be worried about. It is so straightforward. Your interview will put you at so much ease. I was in the car on the way down to my interview. It was about 2 hours away from me. It was quite far. Usually they're nearer to you, but I live like in the middle of nowhere, so that's pretty well. So I was in the car on the way down, and I was so nervous. My palms were sweating, my heart was going, and my dad was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I'm so nervous." And then as soon as we stopped outside of our house, it just melted. I was like, let's do this. But yeah, so don't be like really freaked out if your interview's like in some cafe somewhere, or like in a hotel or in their house. You sort of think, ooh, that's a bit weird, but it was so relaxing. I was just like sat at her kitchen table and we just discussed everything and it was fine. So don't be worried. It's really normal if it's at their house and there's nothing to be worried about. Right, okay, so I'll let you know what you need to take. I stack all of my stuff in a massive folder. I think it was a bit of an overkill. It's like my old psychology folder. Right, so I've just opened it upside down, so don't do that at your interview. Right, so I put, on the first page, I put the email I was sent that had the, like, what you need to take, so I could check it all on the way down. And it had, on the back, it's got, well, on the email bit, it's got where your interview is, what time it is, and the little comment that they have, so it's there. So I just kept that with me, so I looked a bit prepared. Right, so I had that, and obviously print off your whole application, so they'll sit there and they'll read it through whilst you're filling your CRB, so I'll come to that bit later. And they just so they can read and have it in front of you, like in front of them, whilst so they can ask you questions about it and stuff. So then you also need your references. I don't have all of mine with me because I left them with my interviewer, so she's got them, but I had one spare, so take 2 of them and have them with a letterhead. So if you've got like it's at work, then just get like the company logo and get them to sign it on a piece of paper, because that's where I got mine wrong. I didn't get them to sign it, and then I had to send all my stuff back to my interview, and it was such a big rush for it, even though it was quite early in the season. Just led to do it, and I just wanted it done. So make sure you don't make that mistake. Just get everything signed. Just if it's like a letter, just get, if you don't like have a proper logo, just get them to have the company name and get your employer to sign it. Or just like a stamp, like a college stamp. I had a little letterhead that the name of my college, their address and all that. And I got to sign it and stamp it. So that was sorted. Right, so you need 2 of those. Any awards or anything I've included, so I had a drama award, which I didn't actually put on my application that I wanted to do. Well, I had any skills in drama, but we went over that in my interview. Then once I finished my interview, about a week later, she left me some questions on my homepage just to answer and stuff, and just said, can you do something about drama? So bit of that. Right, any more certificates? So I've got a level 2 in art and design, so I put that in there just because I put art and design as a skill. Anything to do with it really. I've got an article from a school where I did a art workshop, so I put that in just so it reinforces the skills you have and shows that you've done stuff. And you need to take, how many forms did I do, was it? I think it's 3, but I took my driving licence, well, my provisional, so if you've got a provisional it doesn't really matter, you can still use it as ID. I took a payslip, a P60, and I took my passport. and I also took my birth certificate and I took some passport photos just so I have some there if I needed them. I didn't, but I'd rather have too much than too little. I also took some examples of my work because obviously I said that I'd done photography, art and design, so I just included some. So I've got some photographs that I did when I was at college and just took examples to show that the skills that I'd put I can do. So obviously if you say that you've got stuff like that, then you can put stuff in. It's just like a small book that I put together. I can't remember the website, I think it's at the back. So I just put some stuff to prove that I wasn't lying when I said I do photography. Obviously these ones are quite old because I did the book quite a while ago. I don't know, 2 years ago? But no, I took examples of my work just so she could have a flick through and like jot down that I wasn't lying when I said that I'd done it. So yeah, that's everything you really need to take for your interview. Just certificates, your references, proof of ID, and of course your print off your application. Right, so I'm just gonna answer some questions that I had before I had my interview, and then if you have any more questions then I will try and answer them below. So my interview, well, I was wondering how long the interview would be because my dad obviously took me and I didn't want him to be waiting like the freezing cold, like in the car for like 3 hours or something, parked outside someone's house, like someone might call the police or something thinking he's just like hanging around. So it turns out my interview was for 8 o'clock in the evening and I turned up actually 20 minutes early. So I waited in the car for 5 minutes and then I thought, no, I'm gonna go do it. So I went out, I knocked on the door at 7:45 and she was like, oh, hello. And I was like, I'm early. But no, it was fine. So then did my interview, it was all good. And then I left at 9:15. So it's about an hour and 15 or so. I'm really rubbish at that. It shows. But no, so that's how long my interview was. What to wear. There are so many answers online about what to wear, what not to wear. Heels, flats, trainers, jeans. I ended up just wearing some black jeans, which is sort of like I wear them to work, so they're quite smart. Then I actually wore this top, so it's just loose. I didn't want to be too hot. I was worrying about would I be too hot, would I be too cold. Wore a black cardigan over it, and then I wore some wedges, which are these ones. I was really worried about wearing high heels because I thought, well, they might think it's a little weird, but she said she really liked my shoes and I wanted to wear something that she'd remember me by. So these ones, my fail-safe heels. But no, she was really impressed, so that was good. I thought it was going to be a really, really serious interview and I was really quite nervous, but I got in there and she was all smiles. She asked if my dad wanted to come in and I was like, I'll ask him, and he didn't. He thought, what? So went in, sat at her kitchen table. She offered me a drink, which I politely declined because I thought, ooh, what if I don't finish it? I have like these really weird questions in my head. I was like, what if I don't finish the drink? What if she thinks I'm being rude? What if I don't like the drink? So I was like, no, I'm fine, thank you. Then like halfway through the interview, my voice was like, just like, you sure you don't want to drink? I was like, no, I'm fine. So it was fine. Yeah, I had a cold at the time, so I probably should have taken off after on the drink. It's fine. So anyway, enough about drinks. So we sat down. I laid out my folder for her. I put it on the kitchen table, and she flicked through my application. I keep forgetting what the name of it is. She flicked through my printout of my application and she just read through it, and while she did that I filled in the CRB check. So we just put like our name, all that, and if I had any questions, then I just asked her about it, and she told me what to put and what I had to fill in and stuff, and just I kept bothering her questions like, you know, do I put England or Great Britain? And she answered it and it was fine. They're so used to it. But yes, it was fine. Then what did we do then? So long ago. Seems like ages. We just talked about my application and we went through it. We flicked onto my skills and we went through the skills part, because I was about art and design, so she asked what I can do, what experience I have and all that. So she asked all my experience, and then she saw the drama certificate and said, oh, you could put that down. So I put that down and that was fine. So then she asked me about my childcare experience, and I'd babysat for kids, I'd done workshops, I'd done stuff in schools about them, like for them and stuff. So that was all fine. And then she asked about my religion, and she asked me about first. I'm like backtracking now, backpedal. So she asked me what camps I wanted to do and why I'd put like no to special like needs camps and stuff, because obviously I hadn't had any training or anything, so I didn't think I'd be able to do it properly. In the nicest way, I wouldn't be able to fully divulge what the needs were because I'm not used to working with people that have special needs. So no, that one. No to Christian camps, because it's actually meant to be listed on the website as religious camps, but they have more Christian camps apparently, so they've sort of changed it to that, but it shouldn't be. But I said no to that because I'm Jewish, so I wouldn't be able to fully integrate and teach them about what they should be taught about. So I said no, and she respected that. Asked me about my diet for camp, like would I be keeping kosher and do I do like Shabbat and stuff, and it was all sorted out and it was all fine and it was all written down on my notes, so my camp knows. So we talked about that. We just talked about my skills mainly and my experience. It's quite nice because like it's so relaxing. I had a laugh and it was all good. So yeah, I think that sums it up really. I think that pretty much sums up the whole interview process. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always on the internet, so you'll probably get a response pretty quickly. Yeah, I guess key points to remember is sort of get everything that you need ready before you go, obviously, for like a week before or something, so you can keep going back, checking. If you find any certificates or anything in your house, you can just add them and away you go. Just relax, breathe. They want you to pass. They want you to get it. They've been to camp. They know what the whole interview process is like. They've done it themselves. Ask questions. My interviewer had done the camper one and they'd also been a counsellor, so I asked which one they preferred, what their camp was like, what to expect and stuff, and I think that really helped sort of everyone open up and just everyone sort of like open up and just relax. And I got to know more about camp, and obviously it was really interesting for me because I got to find out more and it showed that I was interested. So yeah, think of any questions beforehand, sort of jot down a list. Yeah, just jot down a list of any questions that you think, just so you can get them answered, and yeah. Be on time, I guess. I can't see much being on time. I'm always early, so just don't be late. What else? Relax more. Yeah, so good luck with your interview and you've got it coming up. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you get placed. I've been placed. I'm going to International Gymnastics Camp in Pennsylvania and I fly out in June. And I've already met some really nice people from my camp, so yeah, it's really worthwhile doing this. I mean, on my way to my interview I thought, what if I'm not right for this? And it really freaked me out in my head because I was thinking, what if I'm not right? What if I'm not what they're looking for? And I was so worried because I told everyone that I was going to do this, and then what if I got like a no? So I guess that made me more nervous than the actual interview itself. I was just really excited. I mean, show that you're excited, show this is something you really want. I mean, they'll be able to tell if you're not really 100% or whether you want to do it or not. So if you're not 100%, maybe wait a year, build your skills, maybe do some like childcare related stuff here, so you know for sure whether you want to spend 3 months working with kids, you know? Yeah, so good luck, let me know what happens, and I hope this video helped you.